attention, please. Thank you. Hello, we are Group 8, and today we'll be presenting about Ireland and the Brexit. Well, a brief overview of our presentation content. We'll first start off talking a little bit about Ireland, then we'll move on to the macroeconomic issue, which will be Brexit, and we will present the short-term solution for this, a long-term solution, and to end things up, a conclusion wrapping both of these things up. So we thought it was a pretty funny quote to define Ireland by an Irish coke producer, which is only Irish coffee provides in a single glass or 4 essential food groups: alcohol, caffeine, sugar, and fat. So what is Ireland? Ireland is actually an island west of the UK. It's composed by 4.8 million people, and Northern Ireland, which is actually part of the UK, has 1.8 million people. It's a bit confusing, but that's the way it is. The export of Ireland to the UK is about $21.6 billion US, and the imports are $35.1 billion. This makes Ireland the #1 trade partner of the UK. They currently have a GDP of $33.7 billion. And yeah, so what is the problem with Brexit? Normally in the EU, we have a bunch of countries which got together in the early 90s, and during the 2002, all this current century, they actually have free trade agreements between them, free roam, you can actually work anywhere, your German passport works as a working visa in Spain, Ireland, it doesn't really matter. The problem is that this free roam agreement doesn't work if not everybody's on board. So currently the rest of Europe is on board and the UK is actually exiting. That's why it's called Brexit. So what does this mean? This means basically lower free trade between the countries, the possibility of a return of a hard border in Ireland and Northern Ireland, the creation of new tariffs, low investments in Ireland, and a high uncertainty as to what is going to happen with Brexit.
Yeah, so in a non-Brexit scenario, what happens is the agricultural producers have a cost advantage when they are exporting goods to the UK. Something which dairy producers in New Zealand don't have, something which beef producers in Australia don't have. If Brexit materializes, it will reduce the preferential access of European Union producers to the UK market because the cost advantage will just go away. Because of these tariffs, even the imports will suffer, they become costlier. And since imports feed into the production of domestic goods, the cost of domestic products will also go up, thereby reducing the aggregate demand. The increased cost in supply chain will affect the wholesale and retail market in a negative way in the Irish economy. The pharmaceutical and chemical sectors production will fall by 5%, and the production in the electrical and machinery sector will fall by 10%. So cumulatively, the exports of Ireland in a Brexit scenario will fall by 0.5 to 3.7%, and the economy will decline by 4% to 7%.
A short-term solution to Ireland's problem is a trade subsidy. Considering the volume of trade between the two trade partners, Ireland can subsidize its exporting firms in order to help them maintain business. Normally, with the trade subsidy, new exports are going to be more than the original exports, but due to the tariffs, new exports are going to be the same as original exports. A short-term solution. This is only short-term because it's only sustainable for 2 years, as it is very cost-intensive. And also, a common mistake countries make is making this a long-term solution. For example, in the case of China, they lost $482 billion in 2015 due to trade subsidy. So what Irish businesses can do is take advantage of the subsidy and look for other markets rather than the UK.
Alright, so now that we've covered the short-term problems and solutions, we were thinking, are there any more issues that we might have to consider? And more importantly, do we have any more solutions for that? Issues, we found plenty. One of them is that the European Central Bank is the one that will decide the base interest rate for the entire European Union, including that of Ireland. And no matter how much they decrease the interest rate over the years, really expenditure, investments and borrowing hasn't been increasing at all. So much that, as we've covered in class, now interest rates have become negative. In Ireland, that effect is even stronger. That is because the Irish population doesn't know what's going to happen. They all are well aware of the northern border that they share with Northern Ireland, which is part of the UK. They don't know whether there will be an actual border control, how goods and services, even workers that live in Northern Ireland will come back into Ireland, how all of that will work. So the uncertainty in that country is even greater, leading to less investments and less loans being taken out by the population of Ireland. Additionally to that, because there is this great uncertainty of the country and how it will develop, how it will feed into the European Union, especially with that great dependency of its imports and exports on the UK, investments of foreign countries or foreign investors into the country, into the economy itself, have shrunk greatly, so that even when normal domestic consumers aren't consuming as much, which could have been offset by investments, quite the contrary happened, and investments shrunk even more, leading to a decline in the entire economy.
So, as a long-term plan and a long-term possible solution, to be in tandem with the current rates that the ECB has implemented, we suggested that Ireland uptakes an expansionary fiscal policy, focusing on government subsidies, since 1 in 6 families in Ireland are actually low-income families. These are where the subsidies are going to target and focus upon. And the first focus is increasing the spending on education. For these low-income families, it'll grant higher-paying jobs in the future, because better education leads to better jobs, leads to possible higher income tax brackets, therefore repaying back into the government with that subsidy. And second is to subsidize healthcare for the low-income families, which will then increase the inclination for the families to take care of themselves and their children. That access to better healthcare at a young age for these low-income families can reduce possible health risks in the long run, and in the long run decreases Ireland's population as a whole, their dependence on healthcare in the future, therefore saving the government more money. And the short-term impact of these two long-term solutions is that it increases the low-income families' expenditure, therefore possibly stimulating more buying and or more demand within the economy. And why we thought of these two solutions? So through our research and basically we found that a study done with key fiscal policy changes done between 1960 to today, it shows that if you do subsidize low-income families or healthcare and education in low-income families, that these fiscal policy changes do hold true and at least is a return of investment for the government. And to conclude, because Brexit is looming and there's so much uncertainty, a short-term solution would be a trade subsidy while the Irish market readjusts and or possibly explores other markets to trade in. This way they can avoid a possible economic disaster because their main trading partner is the UK. And the second, for a long-term solution for Ireland, is to increase health and education subsidies for low-income families, and therefore stimulating the economy for the years to come. Thank you.